What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA Saturday, November 13th. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, we have a 6-game slate tonight, so let's take a look at the point guard position. I'm going to give you some more value plays in this video. I think these value plays are a little bit more helpful than just giving you studs. So a value play for tonight, we had him as a value play last time. He worked out pretty well. He's been playing well the past couple of games. His salary is still pretty reasonable. So I like Eric Bledsoe from the LA Clippers playing the Minnesota Timberwolves, who have the 12th worst defense overall, and they're middle of the pack defending opposing point guards. Eric Bledsoe has averaged 24.7 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 28 minutes per game with a 20% usage rate. He's projected at 25.7 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.2 times value. He's 4,900 DraftKings salary, 500 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 222 points scored in this game. And Eric Bledsoe has scored 36, 31, and 18 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 40, 31, and 24 minutes. So I like Eric Bledsoe here versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. Okay, another value play here at the point guard position. I like Marcus Smart from the Boston Celtics playing the Cleveland Cavaliers, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall. They give up the 3rd most fantasy points to opposing point guards. Marcus Smart has averaged 26.6 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 36 minutes per game with a 15% usage rate. He's projected at 26.3 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.1 times value. He's 5,200 DraftKings salary, 500 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 203 points scored in this game. And Marcus Smart has scored 43, 34, and 20 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 42, 34, and 36 minutes. So I like that he's averaging 36 minutes a game for 5,200. I like his chances of scoring 25 fantasy points or more and getting you 5 times value or more. Now we see he's got 30 plus fantasy point upside, so I like Marcus Smart. Even though it's a back-to-back, I think he'll play plenty of minutes in this game. So I like Marcus Smart here versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. Okay guys, it's time to announce the winner of our $25 weekly PayPal giveaway. And the winner is Terry Evans. Terry Evans, congratulations. You are the winner of this week's $25 PayPal giveaway. Please reply to our comment to collect your prize. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won. And we'll send you $25 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Okay, let's take a look at the shooting guard position. I like Garrett Temple from the New Orleans Pelicans playing the Memphis Grizzlies, who have the worst defense overall. They give up the 6th most fantasy points to opposing shooting guards. And Garrett Temple has averaged 17.9 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 22 minutes per game with a 14% usage rate. He's projected at 21.8 fantasy points here tonight. That's 6.2 times value. He's 3,500 DraftKings salary, 600 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 221.5 points scored in this game. And Garrett Temple has scored 34, 18, and 31 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 36, 29, and 34 minutes. So he's playing a ton of minutes. He's been productive, still super low salary, in a great matchup. Now it is a back-to-back, but I expect he'll play plenty of minutes. So I like Garrett Temple here versus the Memphis Grizzlies. And another shooting guard that I like is Gary Trent Jr. from the Toronto Raptors, playing the Detroit Pistons, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall. They give up the 9th most fantasy points to opposing shooting guards. Gary Trent Jr. has averaged 28.3 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 34 minutes per game with a 20% usage rate. He's projected at 29.2 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.5 times value. He's 5,300 DraftKings salary, 1,200 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 201.5 points scored in this game. And Gary Trent Jr. has scored 37, 21, and 20 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 36, 34, and 36 minutes. So he's playing tons of minutes with that 30-plus fantasy point upside. So I like Gary Trent Jr. here versus the Detroit Pistons. Okay, let's take a look at the small forward position. I like Josh Richardson from the Boston Celtics, playing the Cleveland Cavaliers, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall. They give up the 7th most fantasy points to opposing small forwards. Josh Richardson has averaged 16.7 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 24 minutes per game with a 15% usage rate. He's projected at 17.9 fantasy points here tonight, and that's 5.4 times value. He's 3,300 DraftKings salary, 1,800 more on FanDuel, so I love that DraftKings price. And Josh Richardson has scored 20, 28, and 23 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 28, 32, and 30 minutes. So averaging 30 minutes a game for the past 3 games. So I like Josh Richardson here versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. Okay, let's take a look at the power forward position. This guy's just been a solid value play, I don't know, for the past 2 weeks or so. So I'm going to keep riding this guy until something happens. I like Nicholas Batum from the LA Clippers, playing the Minnesota Timberwolves, who have the 10th worst defense overall. They've been pretty good versus opposing power forwards, but Nicholas Batum has averaged 27.3 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 29 minutes per game with a 13% usage rate. He's projected at 28 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.2 times value. He's 5,400 DraftKings salary, 700 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 222 points scored in this game, and Nicholas Batum has scored 28, 36, and 35 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 36, 28, and 28 minutes. So I like Nicholas Batum here versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. Okay, another power forward that I like. He's also eligible at the center position. I like Domantas Sabonis from the Indiana Pacers playing the Philadelphia 76ers, who have a good defense overall, but they give up the 8th most fantasy points to opposing power forwards. Domantas Sabonis has averaged 41.4 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 36 minutes per game with a 22% usage rate. He's projected at 39.7 fantasy points here tonight. Now, I think he's going to get back on track here and score close to 50 fantasy points, get you 5 times value or more. He's $9,200 DraftKings salary, $500 less on FanDuel, so I like that FanDuel price. Vegas thinks there's going to be 217.5 points scored in this game, and Domantas Sabonis has scored 58, 35, 33, and 46 fantasy points in his last 4 games versus the 76ers. I think he's going to have a fantastic game here tonight. So I like Domantas Sabonis here versus the Philadelphia 76ers. Okay, moving on to the center position. I'm just going to pay up at the center position. I like Jonas Valanciunas from the New Orleans Pelicans playing the Memphis Grizzlies, who have the worst defense overall. They give up the 3rd most fantasy points to opposing centers. Jonas Valanciunas has averaged 45.2 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 34 minutes per game with a 24% usage rate. He's projected at 44.5 fantasy points here tonight. That's 4.8 times value. He's $9,300 DraftKings salary, $500 less on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 221.5 points scored in this game, and Jonas Valanciunas has scored 43, 53, and 43 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 29, 39, and 33 minutes. Now, it is a back-to-back, but he only played 29 minutes last game, and this is a fantastic matchup. So I like Jonas Valanciunas here versus the Memphis Grizzlies. If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.